Greetings, salutations, and other big words. I'm Ethan. My handle is Wrangler. Welcome to Frequency Studios, weekly Wing It number 7. We come on here with my panel of co-hosts, and we don't know what we're going to talk about yet until we're talking about it. So we'll see where that goes. And let's see who we got on tonight. First off, we got Maji Chan. Maji, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Doing well. And then we got Trippy Soul, our poet.
Hey.
How are you?
I am excellent. I'm loving that music.
Thank you. Thank Chill Kid, actually. He's the one who did it. James Craig, how are you tonight?
I'm doing all right.
And Raven Nevermore.
Yep, I'm doing great. Love that new intro music.
Thank
So
you. I can't thank Chill Kid enough for that because, I mean, he nailed it. I'm going to have some fun with that. The more I figure out how to work the equipment, the more fun I'll probably have with it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what's going on tonight? What's been happening all last week?
Oh, I heard something about like a balloon that was going over, but I don't know what that was about. Someone has to explain it.
That was a weather balloon over Area 51.
Oh, just a weather balloon.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like,
It
some
wasn't
sort of
like
international
China or
crisis that's
something.
happening.
No. China.
It's so
Well,
bizarre.
Okay, so China claims it was a weather balloon. U.S. claims it was a Chinese spy balloon. Basically, it was originally spotted over Alaska and it came down through Canada and has been going across the U.S.
Blame Canada.
And it was operable. Like obviously they saw it like moving, right? Like not.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was. I guess they could direct it somewhat, and it did have like some kind of recording equipment on it or something. I don't know.
Allegedly,
Just all
all
speculation.
signals were being jammed. So it should not have been steerable. So either the ever trustworthy Biden administration was lying to us about it being jammed, or there was a rudimentary onboard computer that knew where it wanted to go, and it was just taking guesses at air currents until it worked.
Yeah.
And Asher, I heard that too, but I mean, I
So
got
from
no
what
way of
I know,
confirming any of the hearsay.
from what I know about weather balloons, they are designed to pop themselves.
Yep.
So what the stupid thing that may have happened was the U.S. military started jamming it, and the Chinese, like, if that actually was just a civilian weather balloon, the jamming would have prevented the pop signal.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's got to pop by a signal, not just like because it goes up too high in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Well,
You can send self-destruct signals to weather balloons.
couldn't it also have been pre-programmed to, like if it loses its signal to then pop?
Oh, you wouldn't do that. It's too easy to drop a signal randomly because of cheap equipment.
I was going to ask this, James.
True.
Yeah, you wrote cyberpunk. You write sci-fi, so I imagine you do a little bit of research to understand this technology.
I certainly try to. Like, I do have an engineering background, and I make a hobby of looking into random stuff. But what I know from weather balloons actually comes from like random clickbait YouTubers of was it Mark Rober or someone was trying to do a terminal velocity egg drop experiment, and I think I listened to like half an hour of him explaining how weather balloons work to get it up to the stratosphere.
Now, Asher, down in the chat, when you say from the General of an Air Force, that's where you heard that from? That might have had explosions. You heard that straight from a general?
I did definitely hear a lot of different. It was a false flag by the FBI looking for Hillary's classified emails. Yeah.
Why do I find that one actually believable?
Right.
There's lots of rumors, possible bomb. So in that case, why wouldn't you pop it whenever it's over the least an area, part of the country that has the least amount of civilians around?
The news
because it was 15 miles off the surface.
Here's the problem, though. The news picked it up over Montana. Why did they wait till it got to South Carolina to break the damn thing?
Because it's 15 miles off the surface.
You have to intercept it. You have to send up the. It's yeah. It takes a little while to catch up with that.
It's very difficult to get a piece of mass that high up. But I'm pissed off we don't have a laser weapon. It's a weather balloon. It's literally a micron of latex holding that helium.
Pop it.
Well, you can't pop it with like a bullet. You can't get a bullet 15 miles off the air.
They're lasers. Yes.
Why do we not have laser weaponry capable of breaking a skin of latex?
James, somebody else in politics may already have the answer to that. This was beautiful. Hang on.
Oh no. What are you about to subject us to?
A condemnation of anti-Semitic remarks when you have a member of the Republican caucus who has talked about Jewish space lasers and an entire
Yes.
Good one.
Yes, you make fun of them, but necessary now.
Space lasers. Why didn't you put a pinky to her mouth? Like, come on. Space lasers.
I don't care what she's ever said before or what she will ever say again. It will never be nearly as cool as those 3 words accidentally were. Jewish space lasers. I want one.
Yes. I know, right?
I will mount them to my ship and pilot that thing into cosmic battle.
I mean, this may sound bad, but I do like German engineering a little bit more. I mean, I can't rephrase that any other way. Damn it. Yeah.
No, according to Asher, Israel has no lasers. You just ruined my night, Asher. I was all excited for those Jewish space lasers.
Incoming missiles. It's the first layer of the Iron Dome.
Yeah. One of the other rumors I heard was well, maybe they've got yet another virus coming over in it.
Easter.
But that was another reason given for waiting so long, because that way, once it got close enough to the far coast, then the wind would continue to push any disease or anything they are trying to drop further east, which seems silly, but
no,
that doesn't check out with me.
The whole thing. I like James's theory. That's like it is just probably a weather balloon that we jammed and couldn't. I like. Have you heard of Occam's razor?
Occam's razor?
Occam's, yeah. But you know what I'm talking about. Yes, the simplest solution is most likely correct. You know, it was just a civilian, nerdy YouTuber balloon. I mean, the thing was pretty big, so it had to be like a legit company that made it and sent it up there, and then got too far.
Dude, you can just buy a weather balloon off Amazon, I think.
I don't know why I misread that earlier, but I thought Asher said Israel has no lasers. It says Israel has lasers. Okay. So space lasers are back on. Sweet.
Yes, and they would have been useful to pop a balloon, but apparently we can't do that. I think they waited so long just because the government's so big and inept, and it has to go through all the channels, it has to make the right calls, and you have to do this, and what would I have got to think about it, and I send the email back, and they didn't get back to me yet. It's just
no.
Yeah.
They got told to stand down. It legitimately should not have gone through a chain of command. An object entered U.S. protected airspace. It was not ours. It was not authorized. It should have been destroyed. Simple as.
Very much. I thought that was protocol.
Agreed.
Think about if that had been like one of the Russian nuclear rockets. That should have immediately been shot down. Like no question.
Just shows how weak we've become. It's just a bad show for the whole world. Just show how weak we are.
Oh, that's where the planes were. It's because we sent all our jets to Ukraine. Now it makes sense.
Here I thought we had Sky King.
No, but you're right. Seriously, I mean, the fact that it got pretty much over it traversed the entire continental U.S. just about. I mean, how did this never would have happened before without something happening? Why did they let this happen?
All right. So, has anyone else here watched Code Geass?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, I heard one yes. So when Schneisel cheated at chess and put himself into check as a political move? and Lelouch had a breakdown because he was just like, do I tell him he's an idiot and breaking the rules? Like, what does that say about the revolution? But he just cheated. What do I do? And like the entire episode was just Lelouch not knowing how to respond to Schneisel cheating. I think that's what happened here.
I barely remember that, but yeah.
No, yeah, falling debris, but it entered in like Alaska. So if they shot it down first thing in Alaska, that's Alaska. The odds of it hitting anyone are minimal. It might hit a moose.
Yeah, Herman, falling debris, my ass. It's a weather balloon. The equipment on that is like the size of a football.
That's a talking head argument right there for sure. I didn't like that argument. Like falling debris over
Yeah.
Montana, Kansas. Who's it going to hit? A cow? There's no one out there.
Technically, this.
It doesn't even matter. You blame it on China.
When the China, what was it, a station or a rocket or something, had ended up falling out of the sky, like they didn't plan on where it was going to end up landing, and there was a whole lot of political fervor over it. But that was under a different presidency, so different strokes for different folks, I guess.
Herman, that other comment is incorrect. It was detected over the Aleutian Islands.
Yeah, see, I didn't even hear. I don't even pay attention to news. I fuck off. Like, I don't pay attention to much world events until it comes to me. The reason why I know about this is because I was doing a service call at an Army veterans house that day, and he's like, "You hear about this balloon?" I'm like, "What balloon?" And he's watching Fox News out there, and I see it all, and they're all just talking about this. I'm like, "How long has this been going on?" It's like, "Oh, for a couple days."
I actually heard about the balloon before Fox News did from the China Post.
Huh. Well, crap. Yeah.
No, I'm subscribed to the South China Post because it's the only way to get world news without being biased, because technically our news censors everything we see around the world.
Yeah.
So I go.
Hold on. Are you saying the South China Post is not biased?
Oh, hell no.
No,
It's
it's
still
so
biased,
ironic.
but I can at least see what's going on in other parts of the world.
I just try to look between the lines. Like you can obviously spot a lie, and like you listen to the words and like the way they talk about stuff, they'll go around subjects and that newspeak, the soft language. George Carlin always coined it as soft language. And once you hear that, you know that they're covering something up. This is bullshit.
Well, like, a lot of people don't know we had astronauts stranded at the space station apparently not too long ago. I found that out too.
Well,
Yeah.
they're called stranded because NASA isn't actually capable of launching their own rockets anymore.
I know, poor NASA. Oh, sad story.
Yeah.
That was.
I shouldn't laugh because NASA used to be so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think part of it is that they wanted to
And
turn it
hope they
over
found
to.
another balloon.
Damn Germans.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
That's my
Crazy's
type of
balloon. Hey, be nice.
A beer rune.
I was really worried about NASA ending all of that project of launching stuff into space and everything. But now that Elon Musk has been launching stuff at a much cheaper cost to people, I think it ended up being a better thing.
Well, private does it better than government will ever do it, just because they have an incentive. Like they have to show good work to get paid for it because it's the contract owner and it's the private business, it's the private sector. We're incentivized to do good work and to have quality so we can sell this product and people come back and buy this product again. Government doesn't have that incentive. They collect taxpayer money and then there's here we go, and they'll get more money regardless. That's why everything's just cheap, and hoard. And NASA was, government ran.
So a couple of
Get into
years
the
ago, I was listening to some audiobooks. They came up with a fantastic explanation for why NASA used to be great, and now we don't understand any of the technology. Because the entire premise of the series is about time-traveling wizards that end up getting stuck in the past because they eventually accidentally get caught on tax fraud. Because they will like magic themselves $1 billion into their bank account that they have no explanation for. So they're all hiding in Arthurian England. And one of the guys who shows up in like book 2 is just like, oh yeah, the Blackbird that no one knows how it works because like metal shouldn't work that way. Sorry, that was me.
A Connecticut taxpayer in King Arthur's court.
Yeah. I don't rule anything out anymore. There very well could be an immortal, some guy that's ruling everything that has so much influence, but you don't know because it's not out in the light. It hides in the shadow, you know?
Well,
And he's been around.
have you heard about the story written about? Oh gosh, I can't remember. I want to say like Marquis Trump or something like that. It's like some weird Trump thing, and like it the story is kind of interesting because it's like sometime in the past, I think it was, he ended up figuring out a whole bunch of stuff, or maybe it's from, I don't know. It's been a while since I've heard the thing, but it was quite an interesting thing, and it was kind of like, well, this is how like the whole entire Trump thing came about, and how they figured out how to win the election and stuff. Kind of crazy.
Mm. Yeah, no, the truth is definitely not forefront anymore. I'd like to think that there's some time in human civilization history that the truth was the truth, and everyone just spoke it. No one like lied and hid stuff. And our culture today, we lie about everything. Like, oh, hey, how you doing? I'm doing fine. The
Sure,
reality
if you
is
want to
no, they're
rid
not doing
yourself
fine.
of that delusion, I recommend reading autobiographies. Literally everyone for all of time, in all cultures, in all continents, all centuries, everyone
Fine.
is always a lying shitbag.
Haven't you ever seen House?
No, but I'm like, that's what I'm saying. How far back can we go back to like tribal roots, like the very, very first tribes that came about, like civilization? I don't think they could have lied. I think that it was very important that they had told the truth just for their civilization to work.
Somewhat. Although one of the other things is looking at some things. In some cases, they wanted to keep some of the peasants dumber than others, just because it was easier to rule over them.
I'm thinking further back, like further back. No peasants, like everyone's equal. You're just tribal. There's a family, and then the elders, and you know the very roots of civilization. These nomadic tribes. I imagine they had qualms. They lied. And they did their own stuff too, and that had to be just human nature, right?
I think you have fallen victim of a common philosopher error. If you go back to before civilization, I think that was actually the most unequal humanity ever was. Because you're talking about family units, and a father is never equal to his son.
Yep.
Well,
The only time
Yeah.
you can approach equality is when you're bringing strangers together.
And it requires infrastructure, and infrastructure requires more and more people. So like back at tribal times, I think you're right. It would be everybody would pretty much have their roles, and that's the way it would pretty much stay throughout most of their lives. I mean, nowadays we have all this tech infrastructure, the ability to specialize in things, and it brings around a lot more opportunity for equality amongst the people than ever before. And without all that, things, let's just say a lot of the social issues are a luxury that could not be happening without all the infrastructure to protect people and protect rights. Without all this stuff where people are running around over things that, let's face it, in the face of trying to find food, don't matter. It's a luxury, and quite frankly, one we cannot sustain long term. It's becoming a real drag on everybody and everything.
Yep.
yeah, it's a house of cards right now.
Oh,
No, James, I think you're right, James. Like it's a little philosophers like wishful thinking. In the past, humans were better. Now humans are humans. Like the way we act now is the way we acted back then. Same psychology.
Yep. Oh, I found some info on that book I was thinking about. It was written in the late 1800s, which is part of the big issue because it was before Trump was even known. And the book is on
Oh,
Barron.
you're talking about the Barron Trump.
Yes, Barron Trump.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Quite interesting.
I'm not familiar with this.
So I don't remember all the details, but in the late 1800s, I don't know if it's a series of books or just a single one about Barron Trump and the last president. And then, 2016, Trump ends up becoming president and people go bonkers about it. And it's like, was there a time traveling person that lived through our times and saw this and then went back to then and wrote it?
No, or the more logical solution answer would be that the individual in the present read about this stuff in the past and is now doing the action to present himself as this person, like I'm just doing the blueprint. Hey, look, it said that, and this time this Trump guy will do this. Name myself Trump, and I'll just go through the motions, and eventually, yeah. Honestly, I don't get the appeal. Like, I get how a lot of people like him. Like, I know he's not a politician; he's a businessman, but he's not a good guy.
Yeah, it's interesting how much of a socialist he actually is.
No, he's not like a good guy or anything. So why are you supposed to like?
Yeah,
The fanaticism.
anyone with political integrity was from the beginning pointing out that he's a 1990s Democrat.
Yeah, I was like, out of our choices, he was the best choice. But I also just wanted to see the world burn. So
In construction, a lot of people are Republican and supported him. A lot of people on the job site were always like, "Yeah, Trump." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, Trump." Can't wait to hear what he says next.
Are you ready for this? China.
China.
Yeah. Oh man. This is shit.
I always got the biggest kick out of how he said that too.
Just Biden's just sad. You can't really make fun of him. I feel bad making fun of him because it's just dementia.
Yeah,
I don't feel bad because of his obvious dementia. I just don't care because he's so obviously not the one in charge.
yeah.
So it's like,
Exactly.
well, why are you making fun of the puppet?
It's elder abuse.
Exactly.
Yes.
At that point.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
So,
sad.
if that's the case,
China.
who is the actual president? Obama? Is he sitting in the basement talking
Schwab.
and through a thing
I think it's
and
Pelosi.
his ear like he said he wanted to?
I think Pelosi has a lot of influence right now in the Democratic Party, and they're just running the show.
Well, there's also
And Jill.
a lot of
Joe Biden.
unelected political people that are running things. Like, I don't know if you've heard about the stuff going on about the ATF and everything, but
I
several
heard
years
about the
ago,
pistol brace, yes.
yeah, just several years ago, they said the pistol braces they're perfectly fine, they're okay. So thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of people bought them. They're specifically bought up for disabled veterans, so they could be able to hold their weapons better. And now they're saying, "Oh, these are dangerous. We're going to change it so that they're going to be short-barreled rifles, essentially, which are illegal." And so they've basically gone from, yes, these are illegal, to just overnight mandating within the ATF. And the ATF is simply supposed to do whatever or follow whatever laws and rules Congress comes up with and this president signs into being. But instead, they're kind of making up their own rules and laws and stuff as they go. And it's kind of disgusting. But some of the comments that were done during I believe it was, the House had a bunch of people talking about it, and one person got up and said, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, that sounds like a great weekend in Colorado. And
No kidding, huh?
that I believe was Boebert. And then Gates said something along the lines of alcohol, tobacco, and firearms should be like a store in Florida somewhere.
That sounds like a party.
I want to slap every person any person who says common sense gun laws.
Right.
Yeah, common sense gun laws are remove all of them.
I'm going to be in the minority here. There is exactly one fundamental tenet that I am fine with regulating. I believe that it is justified and reasonable to say that you cannot have an inaccurate firearm.
Yeah. Okay. I'll
Yeah.
yep. Gun control.
And I would
That works.
probably also kind of lump in. You probably shouldn't have a firearm so powerful, so high caliber that it can blast through a brick wall and kill the person on the other side. And that's just because like you need to know where your bullet is stopping. So I don't want people having bombs. I don't want people having biological weapons. I don't want people having nuclear weapons or anything. But by God, if a free citizen should be able to point and delete someone.
Especially
as
if
far
that
as
someone
what
is trying to
Jonathan said
delete
in
other
the
people.
comments, I agree. Where to a lot of them, they just kind of see us as livestock, keeping the machine turning. That's about it.
Yep.
That is correct.
The whole issue with guns, it's not even the guns that are a problem. Obviously, it's the person holding the gun. This is obviously all has to do with mental health and the minds. And it's just these people that are getting ruined. And the FBI that's probably ruining those minds, getting in bed with them and telling them, hey, go do this.
Not to mention, you want to talk about ruining minds. Look at our food supply. Look at all the stuff that's in there that long-term has subtle effects that really messes with us over time. And
hold on, you don't like your microplastics that are subtly turning you gay?
The aspartame?
Oh, stop. I mean, no.
Water, yeah. No, and they don't teach you this stuff. They don't teach psychology to children or in high school. It's not really like taught until like it's a fine subject that you got to understand and specialize in college. But the problem is, your psyche, you have psychology. All of one of us, me, you, anyone in here, we're using our own little psyche right now to say the words that we say and think the way we think. And even kids do that. And you should be able to have some sort of defense against outside forces. And I'm thoroughly convinced, TikTok is a Chinese psychological weapon. Like it works so well.
I agree with you on that, by the way.
Yeah. I didn't realize it till just you can't really see it. Like at first, it seems so innocent because you don't really realize what it is. It's because it's not a gun. It's not threatening. It's just social media like anything else. But
it's
then
conditioning.
Yes, and you see the conditioning, and you see that, and then after the conditioning's done, and you see the post effect, you realize what caused it, and then you have to come to the conclusion. And if to deny that conclusion is just insane to me. I have to say yes. My conclusion is TikTok is a weapon, especially when you see what TikTok is in China compared to what TikTok is in America.
The conditioning of people continues to go on all the time. Like one of the at least a couple of politicians I've heard of continue to say, "Oh, well, it's illegal to own a cannon." Well, no, it's not. And actually, many Americans had cannons because in the early days they had ships of the sea, and they mounted those things with plenty of guns to protect themselves from the British, the French, the Dutch, the Spain. But then again, we also went and attacked their ships too.
Yeah, and where's the psychological cannons that we have? You know, where's the psychic weapons that we're supposed to have? We weren't taught that, but it's been a thing the whole time. And the higher ups know this, like the elitists, the globalists, like the people that are really running the show, the ones in China, like the Chinese CIA, basically. I mean, they know how the mind works. If I figured this shit out, I'm an idiot. You know, if I could figure this out, smarter people than me figured it out. So they're sure as shit using it like that. And no one knows how to have a psychic defense. I set up mine during 2020 because I realized what was going on. So I literally set up like a maze inside my head and put myself in the middle of it that you got to go through a barrier with your influences and your thoughts and your little agendas and your catchphrases and your misunderstandings, they won't just hit me. They got to go through this whole maze of thoughts first, analyze it, question it, and if I don't get the conclusion I want, it's a lie. That's a conclusion that's truth.
Yep, that kind of what Jonathan Rosignol was saying there kind of reminds me of Waco. But I think it's been so long, so I don't remember all the details. But I think there were some people that had actually lost family to the cult aspect of it, which I don't know. I don't know if that portion of it was really real or not, just because of people from the FBI that were involved. And then we find out years later that other things are going on with them.
I just realized my mic was off. Yeah, but I guess the best way to discover whether or not something's a cult is, can you ask questions?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very good point. Can question authority.
Yep. I had a random video come across my suggestion stream from LFR Family. I don't know if anybody pays attention to him or not, but he was talking about he's been going through a lot of self-discovery and discovering things that he didn't know before. And basically, he's kind of completely woken up to all of the insanity that's been going on and figured politicians have been lying to him all of his life. And as he just finds stuff out and discovers stuff, he kind of talks about it in his YouTube videos, along with other things, because he does some things with his family and stuff as well. But apparently he's been getting a lot of crap for falling into the weird cult of conservatives or something. I don't remember all of it, but it was like
Cult of personal responsibility. How dare
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's so bizarre.
Technically, we're the odd ones out in society because we question shit.
Yeah, the cult of being able to ask questions. Okay. I can sign up for that.
Meanwhile, we got the woke people that are just repeating rhetoric left and right, and they don't understand the words that they're saying.
And they don't take questions very well at all.
No, they don't. They don't. Even the things they say, they don't question what their own rhetoric. They just say it's like this.
J.K. Rowling is the biggest example in media right now of that happening. She agrees with almost everything they say except one thing, and they go nuts because they don't have Kikkoman.
Kikkoman is his own cult. We do not question the way of the soy sauce.
No, the world needs the cult of Kikkoman.
The telltale sign of an actual cult is whether or not you're allowed to leave your own free will. If it's blood in, blood out, then it's probably a cult. Hey, yeah, if they're talking blood about anything, I'm not interested unless it's how I like my steak.
Bloody.
Yep.
Well, does that mean that the mafia or the mob is a cult?
Kind of.
Could be. I got one for you. So, we all know the wonderful Hogwarts Legacy game going on right now, right? Well, starting at midnight tonight. If you have a PS5, you can get the release. Well, our wonderful friends from Twitter have created a website that will actually, I can't remember the name of the website, but it literally is who streamed that wizard game. They dare not speak it. There it is. And they are literally tracking and hunting down anybody that has streamed the Hogwarts Legacy game.
Who actually sat and took the time out of their day to just make that? Really? I mean, what are they getting out of this?
A very dangerous individual. That is the person. That's a Nazi right there. That is like someone that wants to hurt and harm other people, but they're conflicted in how they can do it. They don't like guns. I guarantee you, if the laws hit the fan, shit hits the fan, there are no laws, and this person was given a gun, they'd kill willy nilly.
But
Anyone that goes
here's
against their
the
opinion.
concerning question: the fact that they were able to legally make this kind of software to track other YouTubers.
Why would it be illegal?
Yeah, I mean,
No,
there's
but
probably
the
not
fact
all
that they
that
went
different
through
from a
that
search engine.
algorithm.
There's just a very focused search engine, pretty much.
Yeah, you're basically bringing. Well, shit. If I was an indie man, actually, no, it's a good. I should get on. I should get Hogwarts Legacy and start streaming because then I'd get noticed right away thanks to these guys, and I get a light shined on me. It's
You know
like free
what's sad
advertisement.
is I actually have it scheduled tomorrow. My brother Stranger Danger and I are going to do a first impression of Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I gotta watch that. You gotta post the link.
I already hit notify me on your video.
Nice. Nah, I know he's going to troll the hell out of me, but hopefully it'll be some entertaining.
Who's
I'm
going to
curious,
troll your brother?
Yeah, my brother's joining me. He's going to guest stream with me, and we're going to have some fun.
Is it? Are you able to do 2 players simultaneous or?
Oh no, he's going to be backseat gaming.
Commentator.
Well, part of the problem is I don't have a dual screen, and so I needed somebody to kind of monitor the screen because when I have the app up for PlayStation, I can't actually see what's going on
Hmm.
because it blocks most of the screen. If that makes sense.
I'm getting
I
a
was
lot of
testing it
keto
out
going
yesterday.
on in there.
But these guys are freaking insane. They are literally headhunting anybody that streams Hogwarts Legacy.
Yep.
I'm a firm believer politics and gaming should not go in hand. I am sorry.
Yep.
Gaming is an escape from reality. Politics is the base of a lot of reality. Why the hell do I want to deal with the politics? I just want a good game that'll separate me out from the world for an hour or two, and then come back, and then I'm ready to go.
Well,
Yeah,
What
I
you're
think
asking
that's
for is impossible.
yeah. I
It
think
will always depend on the Overton window.
There's always going to be politics and storytelling, but the problem is that politics is based in the fantasy world. It doesn't bleed over to our politics. It doesn't reference us.
Exactly. I rather want to know about the war between the Imperials and the Stormcloaks in Skyrim than the leftists and the rightists in my world.
Mm-hmm.
but
Are
I
we
think
doing this?
part of the
We're
problem
actually
is
doing this.
many people just can't keep fiction separated from reality, and so the one for them has to bleed over into the other. Otherwise, it's not realistic to them.
But that's the point. It's not supposed to be.
Yep.
It's a break from the real.
From any culture. Where's the music? I don't have
Oh,
music.
I was letting the conversation continue. I just wanted to see the.
The key.
I didn't want to interrupt the conversation, but I wanted to play it,
It's just
so I did both.
It's
wish-
gotten to the point where I think most of us can sing it and none of us speak Japanese. But I think that's what Kiko Han wants. He wants us to sing his name out.
Kigomon's gonna have to pay me a lot of money.
Show
to do
you,
Kiko man,
Kiko man. Show me, show you.
Kiko man.
Oh no. It gets funnier every single time. This is like, I don't know how many times I've seen this. I'm not worn out, but it could just keep funnier. It gets smoking is bad for you. there's always like another detail to spot. How stupid I am.
Yeah, no, you should have just seen the look on my brother's face. He walked out, heard you guys singing, shook his head, and walked back in. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, I'm dying.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get loud. That was just funny as hell.
Man, I felt like Batman being summoned.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. We need to play that video every time you come in.
Oh my gosh.
Please don't.
What's up, Pico Man? How's the puppy?
Puppy's doing great, but I'm hammered, so I'll try to shut up for the most part. Man, she tripled in size in the past couple of weeks.
I can believe it.
Nice.
That's
Oh,
going.
wow.
Feeding her well.
Oh yeah.
Lots of soy sauce, I assume.
A dab here, a dab there.
Don't let her hit the alcohol yet.
No, she's underage still.
All right, I should drop off because I was just taking a break to drink some liquor. As I mentioned beforehand, today I finished uploading the last chapter of the third book of my epic fantasy web novel. So I was not that one.
Well, not that. That's the
Bruh.
tab I had pulled up.
Bruh.
Yeah. Sorry, wrong one.
The what is it called? Empire Undying Sun?
Undying Emperor.
Undying Emperor. Yeah. Yeah.
So I figured that because I finished basically the third novel of this series, I should take a moment to celebrate and drink some Fireball and chill out. But I have to get back to writing the third book in the Bastion series.
Yes.
Well, that's
Okay, hang
awesome.
on.
You finished it.
There we go.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah,
Warning,
that's
this
the right
feature
link.
contains poor profanity.
Yep.
Did you have to put that warning?
However, Infinite Money Glitch
Yes,
is linked in the
I
description below.
voluntarily put the warning labels on there. This is a series where people regularly get disemboweled and their eyes stabbed out. And,
Mhm.
the main character literally gets burned alive several times. So, yeah.
So fun stuff.
Well, he heals.
You'd have to.
That's his special ability is he doesn't die. He is the undying.
Okay.
What if you put soy sauce on them and eat them?
Well, he hasn't gone to war with fake Japan yet, so that's not an issue.
Yet. Keyword yet.
Yet.
Correct. That'll be like Act 6 or so.
Ooh.
Oh, what did I just do?
Excuse me.
I accidentally pulled StreamYard itself out from all the other tabs. I don't know how I did that. I was just wanting to do this and put that link in the description. There we go. There is the link
Thank you very
to
much.
the Undying Emperor. But down, that's in the chat. Down in the description is a link to Infinite Money Glitch on Amazon, which also links to your other works.
Links to my Amazon works, yeah. You'd have to go to my website, jamescraig.com, to get everything. All right. Thank you very much for the departing show. I got to go right.
All right.
Yeah,
All
thanks for
right,
hanging out,
James, have a great night. It was good to have you on.
Yeah.
Congrats
good
on
night.
completing your book.
Oh, there'll be more to Undying Emperor. Like I said, there's going to be I don't know, probably 17 total books in this series.
Nice.
Things to look forward to.
Peace.
Yep. Yeah. Great guy. Fun fact. Pro insult.
He is the first guest I've ever had on any of my shows.
Nice.
Yeah, I think
We did the spotlight on Faceless.
Yeah. I think him and Black Knight were really the first like kind of authors that hopped in here and like, hey, so here's our stuff.
Yep.
Let me catch up on the chat here.
Well, that's the cool thing about both of them. Both of them are very proud of their works, and they are not afraid to show it off.
Well, yeah, they have good reason to be proud of that stuff.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, it's really good reads. I really hope both of them get more recognition than they do. I'm not gonna lie.
I think Black Knight's popularity is on the rise, and I have no doubt that James is going to be a huge name one day because he has that love for the craft, and it shows, and that's going to shine through in everything he does.
We're all still young. When you think about most of the authors I discovered, or even like George R.R. Martin, he's what, 60 something, pushing 70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so how old is James? I mean, he's got a lot of time ahead of him to pump out stuff and make a huge fan base.
Yeah. Well, the dude knows his stuff. Not only does he have a good instinct, he understands the technical aspects. Not just that this looks pretty. He could sit there and pick apart and tell you why, what was done, which how it all came together. He understands that on a technical level. So I can't wait for him to finally start his channel, because I know he said he was thinking about doing perhaps shows on the creative process, and I would watch the hell out of that. I could learn a lot from him.
Is that your cell phone?
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm sorry, guys.
No worries.
Yeah, the woke writers can't do that stuff. They don't understand the world. Like James understands the world. He understands what's going on. And when he's paying attention, the wokes don't do that. They probably understand how to jerk off, and that's about it.
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of them that have like never been camping or anything. That the most that they've gotten, or the closest they've gotten to like cooking a meal, is their maid did it for them or something, or at least that's what it seems like in a lot of cases.
Well, they just spent too much time on the internet. Really, they're the gamers and Reddit, and then that's all they go from Reddit to playing the game to pornography to back to game to Reddit to game to porn to game to Reddit. It's a cycle.
I think it goes deeper than that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've said in the past on the show that I think it goes back to how imagination's been curved in society. Think about it. When we were bored, we'd go outside, we'd play, we'd make up stories. Hell, some of the stories I made up as a kid turned out to be crappy Disney sequels when I got older. But that was me going out and using my imagination. Nowadays, like you said, they're in that cycle. They don't actually stop and think for themselves. They live off of old IPs that entertain them, but they don't actually go out and play, be imaginative. Art's been canceled in school. Critical thinking is gone.
Yep.
They are literally mindless robots, not allowed to think for themselves anymore. I mean, common sense, as we've all said, is very common. And I think, unfortunately, we are seeing, because, as we've all said in the past, Hollywood is a popularity game. Once those guys got in, they completely took over. But, unfortunately, none of them know how to think outside the box, because to them, all they've known is a screen.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily a popularity contest. I mean, it kind of sort of is, but it's on a very limited basis, because you kind of have to know somebody that knows somebody or something to get in to the even popularity contest that they're participating in. Because, like, I don't think I could get into Hollywood just because I don't know anybody.
I actually see that a lot on the conservative side too. Like, people will follow a certain speaker or a certain personality or whatever, and just repeat the same talking points over and over again because it sounded correct to them.
Now, one thing is, kind of want to go back to early American history. We had lots of people reporting lots of different things. especially in the early Wild Wild West, there were paperback books being printed all over the place that had wildly fantastic tales about what was going on in the Wild West and everything. And people bought them up and read them because they were these mystical things of insanity. And then many people even went out west to see this magical stuff themselves, and then they got out there and found out that it's just dirt and hard work and stuff. But I think one of the things is that people look for truth and authenticity, or at least entertainment of some sort. And so if they're at least getting one of those, then they'll stick around and follow that person.
Yeah, it's so weird because I'm not entertained by this stuff. I don't get entertained by the Reddit things. I don't get entertained by the woke shows. I don't get entertained by that comedy. I don't think it's funny. Yet these people that follow it and are getting entertained by it, I don't get how. How are they being entertained?
Well,
there has to be like some sort of denial. They just don't know what's better, or
like is it Colbert or whatever, as the late night guy, as an example. He had a following before he went crazy, and the following just keeps following him. Now more and more people have gone, okay, he's just being weird. I don't want anything else to do with this. He's no longer funny. I'm out. But the initial drag into that was he already had a following. People were following him into the insanity.
yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that it doesn't really gain an audience. That's why they keep taking existing properties that have a pre-installed audience and reskin it to that stuff to try and sell it. And we all see what's happening to ratings left and right. They're dropping.
Yeah.
People were trusting that Star Wars was going to be yet another Star Wars movie, and then it ends up, and like the Marvel movies is just going to be another Marvel movie, or Lord of the Rings is going to just be another Lord of the Rings Tolkien thing and stuff, and instead they've derailed it and taken it on their own little idea of whatever. And like as Maji Chan said, they don't have any creativity, so it's like she probably came up with better princess stories than Disney's coming up with.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so I accidentally fell asleep watching Netflix. And unfortunately, the rabbit hole I woke up in, oh my gosh. So I woke up to a wonderful, you can watch this list, because of whatever the heck I fell asleep watching played into, you know how it does the automatic play sometimes. Well, it played
Yeah,
into
sometimes.
another, and then at the end of that show said you can watch these, and one of them was called G-Force, which was about an LGBTQ spy group, and then the other one was
Q-Force.
Super Drag, which was about drag queen superheroes. But
Yeah,
here's
because
the
algorithm
thing.
puts it there because they want you to watch it.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
here's
well-
the thing with that shit. Probably the only thing creative they've offered, but it's all sexual based. Outside of sexuality, there is nothing. I mean, could you imagine trying to write something that isn't a porno outside of sex?
I think part of it is
No.
they've gone so far down the degeneracy hole that that's the only thing that they have fun with. That's the only thing that they creatively know how to do anything with, and so therefore that's their go-to. And I think that's part of also some of the reasons why we're getting some of this feedback of, oh, well, it doesn't have this person or that person or this type or whatever in it, is because they think that's the hobby or whatever.
Yeah, no, they think it's a hobby just to have casual sex, go around and one night stand and fool around and next person and fucking. What do you do for fun? No, I fuck people.
No, I haven't. What's up, Asher?
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm wondering that myself.
Is he talking
No,
about
see.
the so my understanding, or at least one of the videos I saw, you can set up a kids account on YouTube and you select like the age group. And I think they've got 3 age groups. And the eldest group, I think, is like 9th grade on or something, or maybe it's specific years or something. I don't remember. And I don't remember the specific things, but I was like, oh, geez, that is not good stuff.
Heck, look at what they're teaching kids in schools nowadays. It's not fit for their age groups. I mean, it's just the desecration of our culture, left, right, and center, is just falling apart. So we got Philip Barajas down in the chat, and Isidro has joined us as well. Howdy.
Nice.
Hey, Isidro.
Cedro, he was at the gym today. He showed a picture on the Gilded, and all it is just this iron bar. He's like, yeah, I know what that is. He's,
Yep.
So, what do you think is going to be the effect of this cause? Because I'm all about cause and effect, and now we got to start looking in the future. We got a generation of
already
kids that
eating
are being
their own.
highly sexualized.
Have you seen
Yeah.
kids' clothing?
No, do I want
No,
to?
see, I don't have kids, thankfully.
Have you actually went and looked at the kids' clothing? Like, say, well, I can say it because I work retail.
Yeah, I mean,
My job is to move product and get it ready for the next season. That is strictly my job.
Are you the one that puts out all the heavy winter jackets in the middle of August, and then when my shorts rip and I run into Walmart
Yeah,
to
I'm the one that
to grab
pisses
a pair of
everybody off by
shorts?
moving everything.
I go to
Yes,
grab
that
a
would
pair
be
of
me.
shorts on the hottest day of the year, and there's nothing but winter gear.
Yep, that would be me. But the boys' clothes. Face it, there's no creativity with men's clothes. There hasn't been for decades. But the girls' clothes, a lot of them, they look like they're meant for 25 to 30-year-olds. And
Oh,
Say
yeah.
that again, Trippy.
Sure.
It's also
But-
reversible.
We were putting out some of the new tops not too long ago, and they're crop tops. They are to the point where you might as well just be wearing a
Tube
uh,
top.
not even a tank top. I'm talking like a little boob swimsuit. What are they called? The tube suits
Tube
for
top.
kids. We're talking 8-year-olds. They are intentionally designing stuff to over-sexualize kids and put an 8-year-old dressed almost as a 30-year-old. And then you got our half of society trying to hold on to what little family values, but there's absolutely no option. So they are gonna leave no choice but to cause this culture war. It's only gonna get worse.
Yep.
So, I predict there'll be like a more exodus from public schooling and refocusing on homeschooling. And I was at the bar, and every now and then there's advertisements that come up, and I see advertisements for homeschool websites and homeschooling, like stuff like that, coming up a little bit more now. I kind of imagine the surge is starting, and people are just not going back to public schools. Between shootings is a good reason not to put your kid in a school, and then the education. They're not going to get educated, so now it's up for the family to start educating the child again.
Yeah. Speaking of which, PragerU has been trying to get some good children's content generated. I think over the past year almost. They've got some for various different ranges of kids, and I think some of them are actually pretty good.
I'm starting to think that the Amish had some good points about electricity.
You're talking to an electrician. Those fighting words.
So it's not necessarily about electricity. It's about going into a long-term commitment of having to pay somebody else for something over and over again. And they don't want that like long-term business type commitment, if I remember correctly. It'd be like if it was easier and like on a transactional thing, like I can pay for, like you go to the store, if you could buy a deal of electricity, that would sort of be okay depending upon the particular group. But because you can't go in and just buy like, I want an hour's worth of electricity, you have to sign up for like a whole monthly thing and pay month to month and everything. That's where they have the issue with a lot of the different things. And like, I think part of it, that also goes into the car stuff, because that means basically you have to, in order to be able to run a car, you have to buy the gasoline from a company that's not necessarily aligned with your values.
Or you can go frack the oil, refine it into octane, and pump it out and make it yourself, or start producing electricity yourself. Do it yourself.
Or you be like me and stream Hogwarts Legacy anyway, knowing you're probably going to get hit.
So I think the Amish are more of, they're trying to stay away from technology and getting into situations where they may have to have like a contract with somebody. As compared to the, what is the next one? I want to say Mennonites, but I don't know that that's right. There's another group that's similar to the Amish, but they're slightly different, and they allow for a bit more technology.
I think that might be right. That sounds familiar.
I've not heard of them.
So they're the times that I have encountered them, they're close to the Amish, and so they may look like they're Amish or something, but they may be driving a car. And I don't remember what the specific name of the group is. I don't remember, but they're like one step removed from being Amish or something.
Casual Amish.
Yeah.
Slightly similar, but they've got other things going on that they deal with and such.
Yeah, no, the whole suburban setup and corporate America was obviously, we got screwed. Like the highway system, suburbia, and just the way it's set up. These houses didn't have rooms for a little garden and chicken coops and stuff like that. They wanted you to go to the markets to get the food because they'll support the corporation that set the food there. But now we're learning that was just the house of cards. That was the house of cards that was built, because now look how easy it is to just not get the food to the grocery stores. And now you're in a suburb that has no garden and no means of producing food, and you're helpless.
Yeah, well, the federal government has taken over a lot of different things, and that's one of the annoying things that I think we should just get rid of the federal government in a lot of cases, just because of how much they've gotten into things and taken over power for themselves. Because I wasn't completely aware of this. I kind of knew some things, but like Tim Pool tried to go down the street and buy like some beef or something from one of his neighbors, and he's like, no, you can't do that because the federal government does not allow that to occur. It has to go off to like a central processing place to be processed, and then you can buy it from some other company.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
No, I haven't heard about that either. I mean, I've heard of people like going to a farm and buying a side of beef. I didn't know that was illegal.
Well, I also know what you cannot. You're not legally allowed to sell raw milk from a cow.
In most states, I think there's a couple states where you can, but I mean, there's like ways around it. If it's like, I don't know, I haven't. Like you can buy it here in Connecticut, believe it or not. There's some places where you can buy it. You can get small things of it, raw milk. I see it advertised here and there, but it's rare.
Well, part of the problem with that is because of all the microbes in the raw milk that they have to pasteurize it to make sure it doesn't kill anyone.
Wimps.
I think that was one of the things that came up with an Amish guy recently, was that he was selling raw farm products to neighbors, and they wanted to come in and make sure he wasn't doing that. But I think there was a county in New Hampshire, maybe. I don't remember if it was a town or a county that said that they were opting out of the federal government's food processing thing, and that they were going to allow themselves to be self-sustainable.
That sounds like a New Hampshire attitude to me.
Yeah, well, the FDA is just horrid to begin with. I mean, it's so weird to hear anyone try to defend the FDA, like, oh no, we shouldn't get that because it's not FDA approved. Yeah, they FDA approved like sucralose, aspartame, fluoride in water, and they allowed McDonald's to get us to super obese status in the world, like the fattest country in the world, was because of the FDA.
Well,
I really
Upside
don't
down
think they
food
have
pyramid.
Yeah,
they
I
don't
think-
have our well-being out for anything.
I think some of the original reasons for setting up some of those government things was reasonable because you had this huge country with not a very good communication system. And so, how do you tell people this company or that company or these products are bad or whatever? Whereas now we've got the internet, communication is almost instantaneous. If you need to find out whether this product is okay or not, you can look it up on the internet and, oh, gee, this is bad. As compared to before, I think that was kind of what some of these government agencies were supposed to help prevent, or but they just take it over control and they want you to worship at their feet. So
So I deal with the FDA very regularly. I work in the medical device industry. I don't know why the fuck FDA is involved with that. But yeah, they just put a bunch of red tape everywhere. Every company finds creative ways to circumvent that, but you companies can never fight that. And yeah, there's so much shit that leaks through the cracks for the FDA. They don't catch enough, and I mean, yeah, some regulation on pharmaceuticals, but then look at the fentanyl epidemic that we have.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, what the fuck is the point?
No, they allowed OxyContin. They basically allowed that type of drug as a main source, and then these are the same individuals that called marijuana Schedule 1 narcotic, and then push OxyContin, Vicodin, and all the pharmaceuticals. It makes no sense.
Yeah, and Maji, you might know this, but at least my wife tells me every time she goes to a doctor, the doctor recommends her fucking birth controls. So, for what? Just nonstop every time.
Okay, so there's a couple of reasons for that. I don't know your wife's situation, but I do know. Sorry, guys, gonna get a little weird on that one. Some women whose menstrual cycles are really out of whack or really strong are put on birth control just to help with the bleeding and all the side effects from that. And other times it's doctors trying to make money from the pharmaceuticals because if they sell or get enough new clients using that, they get like a little bonus or a payout or whatever. So it can go either way.
Trip to a tropical island.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, so I have family members that are in the professional career. They aren't doctors, but they're in that general area. And so there's been times that they've had to go to those seminars. You know how much free stuff they get from those pharmaceutical seminars trying to advertise their products?
lots and lots.
Too much.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it was kind of cool some of the stuff they brought home, but the lengths pharmaceutical companies go through to advertise is insane.
Yeah, so again, I work in the medical device industry, not the pharmaceutical industry, where we
Yes,
create
exactly.
medical devices. But we're constantly bringing physicians over on those nice, black cars, wine and dine them just so they buy our product nonstop. And every company here around here does it. I can only imagine that pharmaceuticals are like 10 times worse than that.
Can you
Literally.
believe all those commercials though? Every news channel, you know who's in charge of the news because every commercial is a pharmaceutical commercial. And what's weird is they are selling some chemical they made in a lab by having people walking around out in nature looking all happy and vibrant and alive.
Yeah.
While listening to the list of how many ways it could horribly kill you if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You know?
Ask your doctor about whatever, and it's like what exactly is that even supposed to do? Well, ask your doctor. Well, can't you just tell me what it's supposed to do? No, go and ask your doctor.
Yeah, now it makes sense why they want you to, because the doctor's been paid off by that pharmaceutical company.
Yeah, if I want to go talk to a pill pusher, then I'll go talk to somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, especially those depression ones, though, is like it shows them take the pill and then they're out going for this beautiful nature hike. It's like, maybe if you just went for the hike, you wouldn't need the pill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe.
Do a little soul searching. This is all a result of I say for health comes from within and works its way out, and you have to start at the very source, which is your soul. If your soul's broken and damaged, then your mind's going to be ruined, and your body's probably going to be not good either. You can actually go backwards. You can start working your body. Yeah, go for hikes, like really rewire your brain and condition yourself to do that, and then that kind of helps your mind, and then eventually you'll feel soulful. But you can go the other way around: repair your soul, work on your mind, and then your body just comes fit.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say something as dumb and naive as, oh, just go for a hike and your whole world's going to be better. No. That's just a small piece of the puzzle, and things are different for everybody. But lifestyle, I think, has a lot to do with the mass depression that's going around today. I really do. I mean, we are not nearly as active as we used to be. And in some cases, we don't need to be. So why would we? But then that coupled with our food supply and any other xenotoxins just happen to be around in this modern world. I mean, our limbic and endocrine systems are under a constant assault of different stuff. It can only take so much at a time. And I think that has a lot to do with why there's so much. I mean, not to mention the hammering of the propaganda machine just hitting us over the head left, right, and center all day, every day. No matter where you go, you can't get away from politics. It's seeped into everything. I mean, all that combined is a lot of pressure for people to take. And no wonder people are cracking. The question is, what can we really do about it? How can we pull out of that? And medication might be necessary for some people, but I get a funny feeling it's not the end all be all answer here. In fact, in some cases, it's worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on
Search for the lake, by the way, Philip.
Yeah. Thank everyone that's been liking this.
Yeah.
No, I was on Sertraline, which is like a Zoloft antidepressant. Just because years ago, when I was getting out of my plantar fasciitis and not being able to like move around and be in pain, basically, put me in a depression. Well, I fixed my physical pain, but my mind was still in a depression because I fixed my body, I didn't fix my mind. And the only way, well, of course, the way that modern psychology and pharmaceuticals want to handle it is medication. So, of course, I was on Sertraline for the longest time, but I knew it's not good for you. I know it's not good for you. It's not something I took regularly. I didn't do it like often. I just did it when I felt I needed it, basically. But then I started doing, like looking into psychology. This guy right here, will help you a lot. Carl Jung, Man and the Symbols. There's got other books like How to Find Your Soul and stuff like that. This is all basically dealing with your darker self, the part of you that you never want to deal with. And everyone has that part of them. So the part that I had was my depression and my, self-deletion thoughts. And the only way I really got through it was, going through the darkness and just keep crawling through. Writing helped a lot. And then moving on to poetry definitely helped a lot too. And expressing myself that way. But then you just eventually have to rewire yourself to realize that it is like a mental disorder. It's just like a nagging thought, basically, in the back of your head, like a whisper. That's a lie. It's not a truth. It's just there, like telling you, like, you're pathetic, you're a loser, you're nothing, you need to die, blah, blah, blah. It's a lie. It's not true. The truth is, Well, me here speaking, I'm speaking the truth. I'm the speaker here, and I'm the one that's in control, not that nagging thought. So I can rewire it and ignore it and do it myself. And I haven't been on Sertraline for 2 years now. It's actually been that long. Just because over the past year I've been rewiring it.
Good.
And I have no need for it. No need for
Awesome.
medicine.
The voice is at its worst when it combines the lie with facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I actually am a loser. I'm a loner here. I'm an outcast. I'm a bit
Oh,
stupid.
when you get stuck focusing on things you did wrong, mistakes you make, when your mind gets stuck on that and plays it over and over again, it could drive yourself insane.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's not true. It's
Was
not
it-
the truth.
They want us all to be medicated, kind of like Brave New World. And so if you get people, again, like we talked about earlier, just make people forget about the fact that they just keep taking all of these medications and stuff, and they just keep taking more medication. It's normal. It's normal to take all these medications. And one of the memes that I've been enjoying seeing pop up in various places all the time is, oh, don't take that plant. It's bad for you. Instead, here, take all these pills.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
see,
no, They can do it, but they don't work on them. They don't work on themselves. They rely on the medicine. They're not doing the work. Sorry, Marty.
No. You're good. I didn't mean to talk over you.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm actually supposed to be permanently medicated because of my learning disabilities and stuff. I'm actually supposed to be pretty much permanently on Adderall, which I was taking all throughout college because, you're paying that tuition fee. You bet your ass I'm going to be fully functioning and concentrating. But the thing is, I don't like how I feel on them. Yay, I can think, I can function, I can remember shit. But I'm a zombie.
Yeah.
So am I really being myself when I'm taking those? Or am I just trying to get my brain to function a little bit and I'm ignoring who I really am?
For me, it was Ritalin.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in my case, there is a clear night and day when I'm taking them and when I'm not. You can see in my handwriting physical difference. My handwriting becomes legible, it becomes smooth versus all over the place. But at the same time, I didn't feel like I had any creative thought. I literally had no personality, and I was going through the motions. So yeah, I couldn't write anything, couldn't pretend to be anything. Not pretend to be anything, but there was just it was blank. Is cut off that part of you that the artistics are not autistic, the artistic side of you. So
Almost
goes
one and
back
the
to-
same sometimes.
Yeah, right. Probably is my case, but so then in that case, what do? You do the high functioning, stuck on the medication that is going to eventually affect every ounce of your body, but at least can perform like a normal human being. Or do you say screw it and accept the consequences that you have the attention span of a goldfish, but the imagination of an artist?
This is so fascinating for me to hear because I didn't grow up in the United States, and both me and my wife, who are foreigners, basically have never had that experience. like, like it's the standard to have some pills, and that's normal, or things like what you call it, not having good attention span or whatever. Those things I've never heard about them until I moved here.
And it's rampant here.
Hmm.
Something Asher Burnett. I did it again. Sorry, I was practicing all week to get it right. Asher Burnett. I've been trying to get that right, and I keep messing up your name. Sorry, dude. For those who are just listening, I have his banner across the screen. What he said, I think that's very important. Sometimes the most revolutionary thing you can do is staying healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that is true. I mean,
Mind, body,
the
and soul.
healthier we are, the harder we are to manipulate, quite frankly.
And sadly, that's also the case. Like for me, up until high school, I was just considered a lazy student that didn't want to do anything. They didn't realize how severe I was until after I actually told you guys this, a teacher would say something's wrong
Hmm.
because I'm so high functioning. But I mean, there's a clear night and day difference when I'm on my meds and when I'm not. But those meds would make me dependent on them for the rest of my life, and taking something as heavy as Adderall for the rest of my life would have severe consequences on the body.
Oh, and by the way, general put it out there. High functioning and mild are not the same thing. Somebody could have mild autism and be very low functioning, and someone can have severe autism and be very high functioning. And they're the tough ones to catch and diagnose. So,
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
but
there's only
but,
about
yeah.
10% of us that actually get properly diagnosed.
Yeah, but then I got to ask, how do we know those numbers? If we know those numbers, wouldn't there be something done about it? I guess it's a general estimation, but
it's a gray area. It really is.
Yeah, my parents were terrified with me because I went from having absolutely fantastically great scores in grade school, changed schools for junior high, and my grades just tanked. And they were worried. And part of the issue was that I just got really, really bold.
hey guys, I want to do something here. I think Billy Bob Sack is having issues with his mic, so Billy Bob Sack, try and speak. Let's see if we can hear you. There you. Oh,
There's
he's
something.
firing to life.
Oh, crackly. Something.
Man, you're doing the same thing Trippy did last week.
I
What?
think I heard some typing, and it's hard to hear you.
Hold up. I think I had the button pressed on the mic by accident, so it wasn't actually right.
User
Better.
error. Yeah.
All right, Kiko Man, did you like Eric July's reaction to the fucking commercial that happened on JDA's stream today?
I wish they played it all the way, but yeah, that was another check mark in my book.
Yeah, I had gotten out of work, hopped in the car, opened my phone, saw JDA was streaming. I tapped on that video. As soon as I did it opened up and made Kikoman song.
I was
That's
happy,
awesome.
I was happy to bless him for History Month for him.
Dude, I fucked up the spelling of opportunity in the
Oh, did I?
private chat on the first one.
Well, your lovely dome is looking as good as ever, Billy Bob Sack.
They're domes. Get it correct, okay?
Yeah, I can't tell which is
Squirrel.
bigger, the ones on your head or the ones on your chest.
Obviously, the head, you know. It's how you attract the male Ferengis, you know.
You look kind of like that dude in Little Nicky.
It's been so long since I've watched that movie.
Now I got to go looking to pull up pictures.
I'll be right back.
Dude. Also, I was talking shit to you in the private chat, Maji,
Oh, which one?
all the way at the top.
Has left the building? I haven't left the building.
Choo choo, locomotive, loco.
Yeah, I think he was talking about the difference.
Considering the fact that I'm a freaking talking pony on this stream, I have no room to talk, okay?
And now you're a matrix bearer.
No, that's my Substack. And my gamer
Oh.
tag.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're
That's a
getting right now on
Transformer
PlayStation.
reference.
Hell yeah, somebody finally got it. Most people think that's a movie reference.
Yeah.
Well, the Keanu Reeves movie reference.
Because no one thinks of Matrix when they think of Transformers.
Yeah, because people are stupid.
They think of Optimus Prime.
I think they think of it as
well-
Allspark now.
Yeah.
Did the
true.
movie change that or something? Because I don't know
Mhm.
anything
Yeah.
about Transformers that much.
Yeah, it's not the Matrix, it's like the Allspark.
Why did they change that?
Well,
Because the movie
okay,
The Matrix
so what it
exists.
was. Oh, go for it.
Yeah, but oh, it's one of the best episodes. Pretty good angle, you know. Not gonna lie, it looked pretty good. I definitely smash.
There's the one
Oh, you
little
talking about the
Mickey.
tit heads?
Oh, jeez.
Goodness, what is that?
It's
It's
from
Little
Little
Nicky.
Nicky.
You don't want
He's
to
got
say
tits for it on his head.
Yeah,
It's
he
like
has like brawn.
They shall call him Jughead.
Oh, jeez. Sad thing is, it's probably one of, if it came out during now, which wouldn't have been allowed, but it'd probably be one of the funniest things in the year.
If DS9 came out nowadays, it would be canceled immediately.
Yeah.
Lord of the
One
Rings would
Quark
be
episode.
canceled.
One Quark episode would ruin the entire show.
But Billy Bob, if we could just wipe away everything from 2009 J.J. Abrams Star Trek on, and you were given a track and told make a show, what would you do? What would your Star Trek show be?
I mean, it's definitely set after DS9 with the like fallout of after the Dominion War, because you definitely have fucking Romulans
Yeah.
trying to pull some shit while the galaxy's weak as hell. So have a show about that.
So
Sounds
don't
good.
hate me, but my first exposure to Star Trek was the J.J. Abrams Trek. I actually liked
the
the
fuck
first two
out.
movies.
Kicker.
I'm sorry.
It might have been.
Heresy.
It might have been. I went back and watched the original 1970s because I couldn't figure out why the fans were so mad about the movies. So I can appreciate both of them now, but unfortunately, my first exposure was the J.J. Abrams. So I have to look at them as two different franchises and IPs.
They basically
I
are.
can to a point. The Abrams movies, I'm just like, okay, alternate timeline, very different tone. I can deal with that. But then when they carried that tone over to prime timeline shows like Discovery, I'm like,
STD.
because you look at everything from Next Gen on to Enterprise. It had a very particular feel. Even when they had different tones going on in the different shows, it had a certain feel. The universe, the way they shot it or whatever, and they just threw all that away that made it feel like Star Trek for the newer shows. Now, are you guys familiar with Computing Forever or Dave Cullen? The same guy, just two different
I've
channels.
watched him a long time ago. I haven't watched him in a while.
Yeah, I guess he's, of all people, is actually optimistic about Picard season 3, which surprised me
goodness.
because he's been dragging Star Trek left and right. Well, I guess he got to see the first 6 episodes, and the embargo's not lifted yet, so he can't give him a proper review. But he said he is surprisingly pleased to say it's good.
Is that
Whether it stays that way or not, he doesn't know if he has faith in them for that, but it looks like they're trying to actually go back Star Trek again.
Just
Is
from
it
the
hold up? Is it really good, or is it just someone who really loves TNG and is just trying to give it every benefit of the doubt? You know,
No, he's not the type to go giving it every benefit of the doubt. In fact, he was expecting to hate everything he saw and didn't. But I mean, I'm not going to speak for him. I'm just telling you what I heard him say. I don't know the guy, but
See you, Kiko, man. You're dropping out.
Kiko, have a good one, man.
Yep. See you guys.
Anything you want to plug before you go?
Kiko Man soy sauce for everyone.
Yo, we need to show you.
Kiko Man.
See you guys.
Have a good night, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Start working the streets, Poe.
Yeah.
So we
Don't tell,
hope.
don't tell them our secret, man.
I was,
Yeah,
I was
but
very disappointed with Picard, or at least the first couple of episodes I saw of it, and I was like, okay, I can't watch any more of this. And like had they said it was like an alternate world, like I don't remember if TNG did it, but like Deep Space Nine had the alternate evil world where everything
Yes.
was flipped in
yes, the
reverse.
mirror universe.
If they had done something like that with Picard, I would have been fine with it, but apparently they didn't.
The fun thing is that like one of the timelines, like the Dark Universe, started in the original series with an episode, and then
Mirror,
TNG
mirror.
brought up on it, and then DS9 had like a shit ton of episodes on it.
Yeah, they practically went there on vacation by the end of the series.
Yeah, I'm like I
Why,
kind of
don't,
like
why
that,
haven't we
but-
established trade with the mirror universe at this point? Seriously.
Yeah, but they hate humans. Like, definitely hate. They would really hate the Federation.
You know what I would have done with Star Trek?
What?
I would have made a show, exploration show, like most Star Trek is, but it would be Captain Worf with his first officer, Tom Paris. That's a show I would have loved to watch.
I'm trying to remember who Tom Paris is.
Let's see, Voyager, wasn't he?
Yes, Voyager.
That's why I don't know, because I haven't watched Voyager. I might give it a spin one of these days.
So if I remember correctly, he was brought on as their pilot, like to
Yes.
actually fly the ship and stuff. And so I think he had some fighter experience as well or something. I don't remember all the details of his backstory.
Was that a damn Star Wars and Alien reference all in one?
Yep, I like it.
Yeah.
Use the Force, Harry.
It gets Machi-chan's seal of approval.
Oh my god, I missed the comments on YouTube sections when the Amazon stuff was going around, where everyone was just saying, "Oh yeah, my favorite part of the movie," and there would just be some random ass part from a different movie.
Yeah, that was great.
Nerds are the best
That
trolls.
guy,
I love it.
Billy Bob.
Man, okay, I don't even think I saw him on like the crew thing on like the Voyager. Like,
Yeah, he's in there. I think he gets a couple
He
of
is, like-
promotions.
He is as like upfront main a character as Captain Janeway.
yeah,
Yeah.
the only characters I know from Voyager is of course Janeway, the captain. Is he the doctor or scientist dude? He's
Doctor.
the bald headed dude, the balding one.
That's the
Yeah,
doctor.
yeah, the doctor.
Is he the doctor? Because he was in DS9.
He's a hologram.
Yeah, he makes the hologram of himself. and
Yeah,
he has to
Dr.
make it into
Zimmerman.
Bashir. Yeah, he has to make it into Bashir because they picked Bashir to make it as the face of the medical hologram shit. And then there's a human Krogan mix, half human, half Krogan, or not Krogan. Thinking of Mass Effect, Klingon. Yes, no.
From
You're
Voyager?
in a realm I have no idea what the heck you're talking about. I'm
Well,
just
I
gonna
got-
smile and
I got-
nod.
Him. Frequency and Raven, they should know it. Back me up.
No.
Answer me.
No, what are you
Klingon.
trying to?
The half, there was a half Klingon and a half human chick that was on.
Oh, Lana Torres.
Yeah, I know her.
Yeah, she was half
Oh,
Klingon,
right.
half Hispanic,
Yes.
so she had a temper either way.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
And
him,
she's
Zimmerman.
gorgeous.
Okay, yeah, now I remember. I blanked on it. I was thinking of, because there's basically two crews on the ship. One of them is the Starfleet crew, and the other one is the Maquis.
Maquis. Yeah, Maquis.
And yeah, she was part of the Maquis.
I now see why you like the show. Frequency. Yeah, I remember her. Who else?
I think her and Tom, wasn't it her and Tom got into a relationship at one point in time or something?
Yeah, they were married by the end.
Did it go like Worf's marriage? His 2 marriages?
No, they had a kid.
Or no, technically Worf's 3 marriages. Worf,
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
he married
3.
she married and had a kid with the what's her name? She's a half human, half Klingon as well. Anyways, and then he had Deanna Troy, the fucking Betazoid chick, and then he had Juxia, who got murked.
Yeah, that still pisses me off.
Yep,
I
that
think-
one really pissed me off. But you know,
Well, she was asking for more money or something, like way too much money or whatever it was. So they went, abracadabra, we kill you. That's literally what happens.
I
Yeah.
thought there was a number of things, but that's probably one of the. Some,
So you want a show with him and Worf on like an exploration crew?
yeah,
Yeah, checking out an area of the galaxy that they're pushing into new and exploring, but there's been hostile people there, so you got someone like Worf who can
You know
He-
what? I give
who's
you that.
good, who's
Can
good at
Worf be
handling
the
himself,
captain?
but yes, I think he could.
Okay, because I think it would be interesting to see Worf full on be a captain in the show. That'd be pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, and I think if it was an area where there is some hostilities, but also some friendly, so it's shaky area, but we want to meet people, a captain like Worf, who can be cool-headed and be fierce in battle at the same time, would be perfect.
Oh,
and a hot
you know-
shot pilot for number 1. Yeah, we got a show.
you know what his finale would be for that show?
What?
Worf against 18 barrels. Blue silicone barrels.
What?
You fucking know why.
Okay, you gotta elaborate for us normies that have no idea what the
Gotta-
fuck you're talking
So
about.
in
No
TNG,
idea.
so Worf was like the kicking can of like TNG. Like anything that needed to like
Oh,
be
yeah.
bigger or stronger, it would always beat the shit out of Worf. One episode has Worf get paralyzed from a barrel falling on him, and it's like a plastic barrel, and they didn't even try to make it look like it's heavy. It just falls on him, and then he's supposed to have his back broken.
Oh wow.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh,
Um,
it was so funny watching it.
Didn't Worf go into diplomacy towards the end of Deep Space Nine?
I mean, he was the, I think, ambassador for on the Klingons. Becomes like an ambassador for them at the end of DS9.
Okay, because
If I remember correctly.
one of the other shows that I enjoyed was Stargate, and in SG1, their Worf similarity kind of ends up going off to be the like diplomat leader of their people. Kind of similar. I
You're a Jedi, Harry.
Yeah.
I'm fixing to play Hogwarts Legacy in like 2-something hours. 2.5.
Lucky, my boss said I couldn't get it off, and no one would shift trade me.
I mean, I bought it digitally.
But
So it's already downloaded for me.
like I said earlier, though, tomorrow I'll be streaming my first time reaction with Stranger Danger Gaming. If anybody's interested,
What time were you gonna do that at?
8 Eastern,
You were streaming what?
Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh,
I'm
well, I
gonna-
can't watch it because I'm playing it. I'll be playing it tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, so.
I'll come over and watch it after I do my interview tomorrow with Frequency.
Oh,
Oh,
what time are you
nice.
doing that?
Oh wait, am I?
Stargate. I have watched Stargate. I think I watched Stargate. I watched one fucking episode
Well-
where they're like military soldiers.
Yeah, so there's different ones. The 4 on the left is Stargate SG1, and then the 5 on the right are Stargate Atlantis. And go ahead.
So the only the episode I remember, it was on a desert planet, and there was like a emperor god alien being. Who was
That might
like,
have been the movie.
Was it the movie?
Yeah,
I don't
maybe
know. I just
movie.
remember watching some weird stuff. Okay.
So will my legacy stream interfere with yours, Wrangler? Do I need to reschedule it?
Nah,
I think,
Wrangler, you do it at like
Trippy,
10
what
in the
time are we
morning.
doing that?
we're doing it at 4:20.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, isn't tomorrow the 7th?
Yeah, tomorrow's the 7th. Tuesday.
That's what we agreed.
Wrangler, he usually does it in the mornings, don't you?
Yeah, but I got.
Oh no, that was with Black Knight and Bonsart because they're over
On the other side of the
planet.
pond. Yeah.
So it's like 10 in the morning for me, 4 or 5 in the afternoon for them.
Well, make sure you got your time zones connected
Yeah.
up so y'all don't.
Well, yeah, no, if it overlaps, I'll just reschedule. Not a biggie.
That's right.
Trippy, I don't know if I was tripping when I set up that time with you because I'm at work at 4:20.
No, that'll be 7:20 your time.
Yeah. See,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so
I'm
they
not-
will overlap.
Hey,
Okay.
Ma-
All right.
You are tripping.
Baji, what house did you get?
Hmm?
What house did you get?
I don't know.
Oh, you didn't leave it up to chance.
I'll find out tomorrow.
I already fucking know mine. Fuck this first playthrough. It was some bullshit.
What did you get?
I got fucking Hufflepuff.
I don't know what house I got. I'm gonna find out tomorrow.
No, what exactly does that mean?
They're like the pussies of fucking Hogwarts of Harry Potter. They got like a badger. They're all about trustworthy, loyalty, and like caring and bullshit and plants.
They're the Care Bears of the Wizarding World. What you want is Ravenclaw.
Yeah. I was going for Ravenclaw or Slytherin, but you know, I play with the hand I'm dealt, so my first playthrough will be fucking Hufflepuff.
So
Well, we're all
Ravenclaw.
sci-fi creatives, so our minds probably would be perfect fits for something like Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
Which
See,
one is Ravenclaw?
okay, I am a normie. I only know the movies. I don't know exactly the requirements for the different houses.
There's not okay. So J.K. Rowling's like world building is shit, and like the sorting house is fucking dog shit. How it works, because technically all the fucking like quote unquote qualities for that house overlap. Like you have ambition and glory, they do kind of overlap. Pretty much, Gryffindors are brave, Slytherins are fucking conniving bitches, Ravenclaws are book nerds, and Hufflepuff are tree huggers.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha.
Simplified.
I don't see you a tree hugger.
I'm not, but I play with the hand I'm dealt.
Is it what they called the Hufflepuff?
Yeah, Hufflepuffs. They're fucking.
Yeah, I'm gonna Hufflepuff puff and pass.
That sounds like a Pokemon or
They're all
something.
into
The Huff and
plants, to be
Snuffs.
fair. So if they're the ones gonna be supplying the weed in Hogwarts.
All right,
Hufflepuff
so we
sounds
know
like
where
a
Trippy
Pokemon.
is. He's the one supplying the plant in the back while writing poetry.
Yep.
Trippy still got to play Elden Ring
I know. I don't beat all that, but
and Monster Hunter Rise.
I couldn't join a house, but they told me I could apprentice for the janitor.
Are you saying you look like Filch?
I'm a squib.
Oh, poor Squib.
Squidward.
Fucking Maji. I don't think anyone here understands what the fuck you're talking about or what you're saying you are.
Apparently you do then.
Oh, I
Is
do.
that from
I've read the book.
SpongeBob?
I've read the books.
So have I.
I've only read it once, and I read it in 2019. But I do know what a squib is because it was fucking hilarious. When you get taught in the books in the second book what a squib is, it's literally a basically like a Viagra advertisement for Filch, the housekeeper, whatever the fuck he is. The game that must not be played. Yeah, they put up a website saying, did that streamer play that wizard game? And look them up so they can try to cancel them.
yep.
It's like,
Yeah, we
okay,
looked at that earlier.
good. Hey, all them fucking streamers will be laughing in money, with all the views and shit they'll get because everyone wants to watch and play the game. but okay.
It's not so much that. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll be streaming it. As much as I would love to flip a finger off to the SJWs, I'm doing it mainly because one, I'm excited for it and thought other people might want to see the gameplay just in case they haven't decided whether or not they want to buy it.
Maji, I'm putting your name in that fucking website, by the way. Just letting you know.
Oh well, I got it. Well, so since I found
I'm
out
just
about
fucking with you.
Trippy's and Wrangler's interview, I'm gonna actually postpone it an hour. That way they
There you
can
Nice,
do their
nice.
thing and not overlap the 3 people that's gonna be watching.
Yeah, that's basically the only night we can schedule it because Wednesday I'm probably gonna be doing that spotlight with. Well, hopefully, Royce is feeling better by then.
Oh, nice.
Thursday is a drink with crazy gaming. So the convoy's playing Banjo Tooie on that, and then of course Friday is Iron Age Nights. So
Yeah,
Tuesday was pretty much the only option.
poor Royce. He's got a full schedule.
Yeah,
He needs to rekindle the Royce voice.
Yep.
Well, that's actually why I'm bringing my brother on, because I'm like, I don't think I'm entertaining enough to hold a full stream by myself. However, you giving me shit the whole time will be, so he's more than willing to come on and backseat game.
Why do you think I have all you guys on here? You think if I came out here by myself, I would be boring. I need someone to have a conversation with.
Yeah. When I streamed on Twitch a long time ago, I loved my trolls. Other people dislike trolls sometimes. I loved them because they were hilariously funny.
Well, okay, so when I was setting up StreamYards for the first time, some of you guys saw this. I was mic testing with my bro, and it was just so freaking hilarious. I had to share it on a Drink with Crazy's Gilded, just because I was laughing my ass off. So I
Yeah.
figured, that might be a fun combo to just have the two of us doing that again.
Oh yeah.
it will. It'll be funny. No, I definitely want to watch. I actually like the whole premise of the Hogwarts Legacy game that you're not playing the main characters, you're playing as a student that's in the Hogwarts, you know?
Well, you are a main character. I mean, you're. It's a video game, so of course you magically can control and use ancient magic and shit. I
But
mean,
you're not Harry Potter.
no, I mean you're way
Yes.
you're like 100 years before Harry Potter.
Yeah, so that's my point. Like I kind of like those games where they're like DC Universe Online. I kind of like DC Universe Online because you got to play, you made your own little superhero, and then you got to play in the world
That's
with it. You
awesome.
didn't play as one of the main superheroes.
I think I remember seeing some gameplay of that. I don't think I ever actually played the DC one.
And it's free to play now. It's old. It's dated. I think I
Oh,
tried
yeah.
playing it the other day or the other year, and I was like, "Oof, it looks old."
But it
Well-
it managed to keep a pretty good sizable player base.
Yeah.
I don't know about recently, but I know.
Marvel shut down their servers. Disney
anybody
Marvel,
notice?
Marvel have.
For
Well-
which one?
the Avenger game that came out.
Oh,
years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because-
That
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 was
wasn't
fast.
really Marvel. That's Square Enix.
But the thing is, that whole game was based around Miss Marvel, which no one gave a damn about because she's such a pain in the ass. And well,
Her show couldn't even get her powers right. They changed her powers probably because of budget.
not only that, but the comics tanked. Like, comic
Yeah.
book stores refused to sell it because they were just that bad. So they keep trying to push this character onto people that nobody wants. I mean, not a single person that I know of even talks about her shit. But anyway, so
I
the
actually
whole game,
watched the show
Yeah, you
The
watch
whole
Miss Marvel.
thing. Yes, I watched the whole thing.
Wow.
Now
Okay,
here's
we're
the
back.
weird thing about it. The show is just boring. But the character, Miss Marvel, as portrayed on the show, the actress portraying her, she seemed like she was like this really cool personality, and they just had no good writing around her to work with. And it's a bummer. This actress has a great screen presence. I found her very likable, and I'm like, come on, give her a cool show to be part of, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Was this the one that was the Pakistani lady?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some of that, and it got into some stuff. And I'm like, what in the world is all of this stuff that they're talking about? Because I may have heard of, I may have heard of that like a long time ago, but I didn't know what it was all about. And because they seemed to go really deep into it, I was like, okay, I need to know what this is. And so I went and dug into it a whole bunch and stuff. I like stopped in like episode 1 or 2 to go do this, and then I came back and watched the rest of the series, and it was kind of like, well, that was a waste.
Yeah, but I mean, you see what I mean, though. She herself was very likable, but the show she was in was just crap.
Yeah, it.
It's like they finally got they want their female leads, and what they're trying to push, nobody's wanting. They finally got an actress who's got the charisma, and they're not giving her anything to do with it.
So
Part of me wants to see the train wreck of all the new Marvel people into a movie.
So one of the things that I found really annoying with that is that they didn't bother. Well, they may have tried to, but I don't know how much they actually went into the culture and understanding of the religions and stuff, and the various different things and how stuff was going on during partition and everything, other than it was really bad. But it was kind of like, well, the mother was something, I don't remember what, and based upon the religious stuff and everything, I would have figured that they would not have wanted to go to Pakistan. They would have rather stayed where they were at, just because Islam has some certain laws, especially back then, that they were really strict on certain things. I think both countries have loosened up on certain things, but at that time they were really like strict the one way or the other. And so, you start breaking religious laws and stuff, and that's going to be hell to pay.
No, is she supposed to be a Sunni or a Shiite Muslim?
Well, that I don't. I think she's like either an alien or something else. So it's like, or a witch or some magical creature or something. I don't remember. It's been so long, but it's one of those things where Islam does not allow for magic stuff, and so you would think that you would, whereas the other what is it? Hindi doesn't care. They're willing to accept magical people, and the whole TV show made it seem like, oh, they had to get to Pakistan or else they were going to get murdered and a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, but based on this person's backstory, they would have, or at least I would think, they would be trying to avoid that. But I don't know. I didn't actually live through it.
What would I just jump it back into? Pakistan, blah blah blah. Character's backstory.
All right. Well, the one who did the TV show version of her is Bisha K. Ali, a British Pakistani stand-up comedian and screenwriter. She is head writer for the streaming television series Miss Marvel. So I would think she would know her stuff when it comes to the culture.
You would think that. Have you seen Mindy Kaling?
Good point. All right. You got me there.
Yeah. No,
Who was that?
This uses porn that way.
Who was that fat Aussie chick, that woke Aussie chick comedian that was god awful?
You just described half of them. Which one?
I know. This one was like they really were pushing her like 4 or 5 years ago. If I remember correctly.
Not even ringing a bell, unfortunately.
I'm trying to poke something out of Trippy. Maybe he knows.
Or maybe, fortunately, I might be happy to not know this. I don't know.
It's
We're probably happy.
Oh, yeah. By the way, Hetero Crow Media podcast, I highlighted this thing a little while ago. I forgot that. I would like to thank cancel culture for making me being a Harry Potter fan cool again. for making being a Harry Potter fan cool again. The Streisand effect is in full swing.
All right.
I don't
We
get it.
actually start watching some of those.
The show that much.
I hate.
He's a head case.
I haven't even seen it, but I've seen enough clips to hate what they did to Scooby Doo.
I just
okay.
listened to everybody else who sat
Yeah.
through the task of reviewing it. So we
Just
didn't have
watch
to,
reviews as well.
and I've appreciated
Yeah,
it.
that's what I meant.
Hey, I asked y'all a question on Gilded. No one fucking answered me. Did
What's
they
the
actually
question?
make Scooby fucking a black chick dating Shaggy?
No, they didn't.
They did to troll, but it's not Scooby, it's Gigi. So it sounds like Scooby when they pronounce her name. But
Scooby is some government program where they're trying to swap brains from one body to another.
What?
yeah, that's what they did.
So how much do you want to bet by the time it's all said and done, a human brain's going to end up in a dog body, and that's going to be Scooby?
No.
And that's why Scooby can talk. Ruh-roh.
No. I bet you what they're gonna do. This will be fucking retarded, but you know, it wouldn't surprise me. They would have Scooby be the main villain because he represents the patriarchy. You know, the male. He's a dog.
He's an alpha male.
Yeah, he's an
Yeah.
alpha male.
He's a great
And then
Dane.
What they'll have him is he'll transfer his brain into Donald Trump. He'll be the main villain for season 2. Watch it. I'll call it. That'd be something stupid enough for them to do.
Well, they'd have to call him Baron Trump.
Yeah.
We're coming up on 2 hours here, so I think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Parting plugs. Who wants to call out what? Billy, we'll start with you.
I'm just a sexy fucking Ferengi bitch.
Oh, yeah.
For profit.
All my curves. Basking my loaves, bitches. Bask.
Raven Nevermore.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
done basking in Billy Bob Sack's curves?
I just recently got the Twin Sons of Corolla, and I'm looking forward to reading that. But that's going to have to wait until I'm done with the other book. What is it? I think it was T.J. Marquis. Oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the title, and I don't have it in here with me.
Well, then, real quick, what I will do is
Who's those Google it?
Yeah, I should have had that ready.
Yep.
oops.
I got some of the books are still nearby.
Okay. Here's what I can do. Let's just pull up everything he's got over here.
Ooh, the Bloodbane, Quest of Lance.
Blood name. Ooh, I like that title.
It's kind of interesting. He's definitely worked in like a game style into his setting. So like at the beginning of each chapter, it shows like how many hearts he has, how much damage he can do, how much defense he has, and it's really running through it like it's kind of like a video game or something.
Nice.
Who the hell burp?
What?
I'm sorry, what?
Who the hell burp?
How about now?
Was not me.
Hard
I
to
cleaned
tell.
mine.
Oh, I'm sitting on a wooden chair, and sometimes that creaks.
Oh, okay. I just know I heard something.
Yeah, and he's picking it up with those sensitive Ferengi ears.
Yeah. Once you go Ferengi, you never go back.
Yeah, that's been an interesting read so far. I'm a little over halfway through it, and now I've reached a point where there's a mysterious voice talking to him, and he's not sure if it's in his head or if it's like just emanating from the area or something.
Ooh. Interesting.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hate those. I get them all the time.
It's Ryan
Oh, it's
Kennel.
my headphones.
It's Ryan Kennel from RK Outpost, just fucking screaming at the his character.
All right, Trippy.
What?
By the way, your Substack is linked in the description below.
Oh yeah.
What would you like to plug?
Well, the Substack, trippysoul.substack.com. I actually went there on Sunday and tweaked a lot of my poems, and I added that thumbnail image above the poem itself, so you can actually like see it there. It's a little bit blown up and looks a little bit better. So, and
Cool.
I went through, tweaked a little bit some of my poems, and yeah, just did
All
that.
right. And now that you've properly reminded me, we got a spotlight segment to do with you or on your work tomorrow, 7:20 Eastern time, 4:20 Trippy time.
It's always 4:20 trippy time.
The fortune 20 teller. Maji-chan, what would you like to plug?
Well, I got a couple of different things. Tomorrow I will be streaming Hogwarts Legacy, apparently at 9 instead of 8 Eastern tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I want to overlap you guys. You know I love you guys. But on top of that, part 2 of a gamble will probably be posted by this weekend on my Substack.
Cool.
If anybody's following that little robot story. Which the idea came from a writing prompt from ironage.media. You guys feel free to check out that place. It's awesome. You get some
Oh, yeah.
writing prompts. You get to learn more about indie creators. Trippy Soul's on there a few times.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
What's cool is
So
the
happy to
newest
get
thing about what he's doing. I'm not in charge of this. I'm just shilling the shill.
As King
He
Richards.
added a reading
Shame.
prompt. So, say if you're like
Shame.
me, who has an interesting voice, either really nice, that could be a good novel reader or voice actor, whatever. You can actually go and he record reading prompts and post them up so that people can hear your voice.
Oh, cool.
So
Cool.
you can use it one as a test sample, and who knows, you might get discovered.
Yeah.
I know I sound like a 12-year-old. I've already accepted that fact. So
That's a character's voice. 12-year-olds and characters.
I know, right? But yeah, feel free to check it out. He's always doing new articles featuring indie guys. So support your local artists, support your independent writers. Just have fun with it. Maybe you'll become one yourself.
Yeah, the last 3 prompts on that look interesting.
Actually,
Iron
this, yeah, the newest prompt, the one with the kid on the bicycle. Actually, I was thinking of tying back to my first writing prompt, the ice one.
Are you talking about the ship?
Yeah.
Oh,
Listen,
I like
listen,
the.
we're having like two different technologies working: bicycle, ship.
Nah, steampunk, you can merge them both. Come on.
It wasn't steampunk.
Yeah,
They were.
I submitted my the flight. That's called the flight. I submitted my
Mhm.
poem just recently on that one. I like the way it turned out. Sometimes it's not easy. Like you just see the prompt, I'm like, I got nothing. I don't know what you want me to write about that. But that one, I'm like, okay, I could do something with that.
Well, that's what happened with the robot one. All In. It started out as a short story, but I wrote 5 pages just on the intro and not actually getting to the heart of the story. I went, oh damn, I'm gonna have to make this into a 2, maybe 3-parter.
To be fair, that was kind of my fault.
Yeah, that was your fault. But you gotta admit, it turned out a lot better that way, though.
Yeah. Just remember, crates, not create.
I know. Stupid spell check.
All right. I'm going to wrap it up. And of course, I want to point out Iron Age Nights, Friday at 8 o'clock on A Drink with Crazy. Check that out. And don't forget to check out my book, Haley Star Bad Kitty. Great fun sci-fi adventure. Haley's a little nerd who grew up on a potato farm. She's got her own potato gun, and she starts off in a situation where it's just her wits and her potato gun against an invading force. Check it out. Links are in the description for below. Also for Maji-chan's Substack. And that's going to about do it for tonight. Guys, thank you so much for being on, co-hosting with me. I have a good time with you all the time. If you enjoyed this presentation, hit the like. If you didn't, appreciate you stopping by. We'll see you next time, and God bless. And I got to hit the right buttons here.
Awkward.
Boomer Wrangler.
There it is. Yeah, that was smooth. It didn't look hinky at all. Nobody noticed that transition.
Beautiful.
I think you're still alive.
Yes, we are.
Chill Kid
But not
did such
anymore.
an amazing job on a song.